Hi, thanks for joining today's interview with IVYED. Wow, it's been almost a year, a bit over a year, ever since you've joined and started teaching at IVYED. A lot of students are very satisfied with your instructions and coaching. So the reason we have asked you to join the interview is because out of all the feedback we have received from our students, you've got the most positive feedback from all of your classes. Once again, I want to share our gratitude for providing such high quality classes to students for going through academically difficult times. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, but you're free to pass on any question for any reason. So, alrighty, let's get started. So first of all, could you do a quick introduction of yourself, please?
Absolutely. Hi everyone. I'm Jinsa Kim. I usually go by Jin here. I'm a senior studying cognitive science and computer science at the University of Pennsylvania. And it's almost been a year that I've started working with IVYED as a tutor. I'm mostly in charge of the STEM courses, especially I specialize in tutoring AP Computer Science, AP Calculus, and SAT Mathematics, anything math related, basically. Yes, never lived in the US before. I was born and raised in Seoul. I was more of like a typical Korean kid. I had no plans of studying abroad or even coming to the US until I was 13, 14. And then I think by the time I joined middle school, I went to public school. I started to have interest in computer science, coding, robotics, all this field in general. And then I started doing research on my own. I talked a lot with my parents, and by then I got to know that really the field of computer science and everything, and to better study or succeed in my career, it would be better to study abroad in the US and major in computer science there. I think that was mostly how I got introduced to options of studying abroad in the US. And then I went to an international high school. I took my APs and SATs, and fortunately enough, I got into Penn. And I think, that's how I started preparing myself as my endeavor as an international student, I guess. Yeah, I think obviously one memorable moment would be definitely opening my admission letter to Penn. I still remember I applied early decision to Penn. I didn't do my regulars because I didn't want to get stressed out until March. I just wanted to get done with early application. And I thought overall Penn was a really good fit for me. That's why I applied to Penn for ED. And I still remember the results were coming out right a week before Christmas. So when everyone was traveling home, we were still staying in our dorms waiting for admission results. And on the day when the results were gonna get released, I think it was released in 8 a.m. Korea time. So I just I couldn't go to sleep. So I couldn't sleep for the past 24 hours, intensely sleep deprived, and I was just counting down the hours. And when I opened the admission letter, and usually what they do is these days you go to a link, log into the admission portal, and if you get in, they're gonna play some welcome to university kind of a video. If you see the video, it means you got in, and if you just see a long page loading and you see some kind of a long apologetic letter, it basically means you got rejected. But I knew that in advance, and I saw the video starting to play, so I was so excited. I think still that's the most memorable moment so far. So I'm currently teaching AP Computer Science and SAT Math mostly. I think those are the only two classes that I'm teaching right now. Previously, I taught SSAT Math. I taught a little bit of AP Statistics. I think my specialties or main responsibilities as a tutor here is programming, maybe computer science, Java, Python, as well as high school math. Yeah, so I think really like a recipe for a good class depends on the synergy between the tutor and the students. Personally, I prefer like my preferred way of instruction is assigning them homeworks or making them to come prepared to class, not just like me talking through the entire hour about the stuff and them just like memorizing whatever I told for the past hour. I prefer to organize my class around student showing up to class with a like agenda in mind. If they have a homework or if they have like test or exam to prepare in school, or if in general if they're just grinding for the SAT or APs, I think what works best is for the students to take their time on their own, go through the concepts or exams or do the drills themselves, and then show up to class with questions to ask in mind, so that that 1 hour is used as efficiently as possible. When I was studying for the SATs and APs, I think I took advantage of these tutoring opportunities by first going through the concepts and solving all the practice problems in advance, and then showing up to class. And I really used that 1 hour of time slot to more like actively ask questions, like ask for clarifications of like concept which I find especially challenging. In that way, the tutor has a clear like knowledge of what concepts or topics the student is struggling with, and at the same time, I think the student can like more actively just like absorb all the knowledge that was gathered during the class. Yeah, there was this like one kid. We used to have like class for a short period of time. I believe it was like a couple months, and usually a lot of the kids that I'm tutoring, they come to class because they obviously are struggling and they need improvement. But there was this one kid who was preparing for the SSAT exam, and he was a pure prodigy. He was struggling with math, but before every class he would solve like tens of different practice packets on his own. I didn't even have to assign a homework. He would just do whatever packet that he has, and then he almost like during class he would like automatically grade his own work and then like figure it out on his own, that I didn't really have to like intervene that much. If he had some problems, like he would ask for clarification, but it was almost like he was just self-studying, and I was just there sitting like and just watching him and see if he's struggling with anything. So so that's probably why the classes didn't last long, but fortunately, he was learning fast and he picked up stuff really fast. So I think this is an amazing platform to connect tutors who have the who are actively looking for students to tutor, as well as students who want to get connected with like tutors who are actively enrolled in American universities. Previously, I still remember back in 2018, 2019, there were no such platforms as IVYED, and it was insanely hard for both the students and the tutors to like get connected to each other. Usually we would have to use like social media or like internet communities like Naver Cafe, but they would often be flooded by all these like scam articles, so it would insanely be hard to find a tutor/student who is looking for or teaching the course that I am interested in. But I think it really just, IVYED is like a convenient platform for both sides, which just reduces or saves all the headache that has to do with searching or matching the right student/tutor and all the economic transactions in between. So I believe this is a really powerful, convenient platform. Not as of now, honestly. I still remember IVYED. IVYED reached out almost immediately after they started their service, and back then, their website was still in their early stages of development. So I almost started tutoring, taking classes in IVYED as soon as the service launched. Initially, there were minor issues with the website and everything, but whenever I reported them, they were pretty prompt with fixing everything. And yeah, I believe the support team is very responsive. So yeah, I don't have any issues or problems. Thank you.